But ain't nobody in there. I don't see the list.
Let me turn that stuff. I need to post the link. Hold on. I hope it's on the right YouTube channel. It should be. You don't see it?
Yeah, on the ESBL 24/7.
It is on that one, or it's not?
No, I see it now. Yeah, I see it. We live. Oh, Kyle Rainey, Marina So, Jamir Johnson, Damian So, Monte Rainey. For the Generals, Mario Dixon, Terrence Ware, Todd Brunson, Kinger Brunson, Greg Powers. Okay. You good, bro?
What it do? What it do? ESBL. Yes, we are on YouTube. Yes, we are on YouTube. And again, yes, we are on YouTube. Steve Carter is in the building. Kyle Rainey in the building. Cramsey is in the building. Ty Bronson, the man himself, is in the building. Boss James, I'm not sure who that is, but how can we ever forget the ninth pick of the draft? Jamir Johnson in the building.
What's up?
Introducing first the away team. Point guard, Kyle Rainey. Shooting guard, Mariana Self. Small forward, Jamir Johnson. Power forward, Damian Self. And then you got the big man down low, Vontae Rainey. And then we have the home team, the Tampa Bay Generals. Oh, you know how we get down. Mr. 20-7 himself, Mario Dixon, in at the one spot. Then how can we ever forget the man that you always worried about, Terrence Ware, at number 2. Todd Bronson going in at number 3. Number 4, his brother, big brother, Keandre Bronson. And then we got the lights out from deep, Greg Powers.
Get it.
said?
I said there's definitely a game to watch here. It's gonna be a good matchup.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not sure what's going on with. I think this is the Tampa Bay Generals. Not sure what's going on with their court. It's kind of odd. It's cool. We'll get it fixed. Tampa Bay. I know that Tampa Bay has some jerseys coming out. I'm pretty sure that their creativity team is working on their court as well. Jerseys should be dropping tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go ahead and stop the commentary real quick. We're good on that. Let me know if y'all can hear the in-game sound.
Good thing they got that black. They got the same color.
What's that?
I said good thing the Hoopstars got that black on, and they colors similar.
Yeah, no, actually, Hoopstars' original away jerseys are actually green, but I couldn't have both teams playing with very similar colors for this game. So they're actually rocking their alternates.
That's something I like.
Rainey
Mariana
kicks it to Mariana. Mariana drives in. Some good defense by Keandre. Mariana Self from deep. That is no good. Vontae Rainey with the rebound. Self drives in on Terrence Wary. Wary playing some great defense. Screen set by Wary, drives in, goes up, no good. Great stop by Mariana.
Yeah, good defense there.
Mariana driving in. She goes up. Ooh, and a block by Todd Bronson. That man was a problem in his last game for the Diamonds. We've seen Mariana take a lot of shots, and, she's kind of stopping the ball as an air ball just came from Damian Self. Do you think that Mariana is prohibiting her team from being, as effective as they could be?
To me, I feel like they should be trying to get Jameer Johnson, going early. He's showing he can carry this team, But at the same time, I guess everybody needs to get some looks and get a flow in the game.
I agree.
Hopefully those shots start falling.
Rainey over to Johnson, and that was no good. Terrence Wary bringing it down. For those of you that are just joining us, the Tampa Bay Generals are under construction right now as Mario Dixon goes all the way to the rack. They're under construction. They're dropping some new jerseys and a new court, which is why they have a very generic basketball court that they're playing on right now. Vontae goes up. That is off. Rebounded by Greg Powers. Atlanta's having a tough time, being able to score here. It's Terrence Wary pulls that three, and that is no good.
Really, both teams are coming out a little slow. It'll be interesting to see if it picks up.
Bronson for three, banging buckets. My first time being able to say that tonight, or today rather. We're playing during the daytime. Timeout by the Hoopstars, a very much needed timeout, as they got to figure some things out. It's been 3 minutes since the game has started, and they haven't been able to score yet.
Yeah, they're definitely struggling. They gotta figure this out early, because every game counts. Let's see. You got no time to take it slow.
Real quick, how are y'all seeing the stream? Because I don't see it through Discord or anything.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Mine's just really delayed. Just because.
Yeah, I am a little behind. That's why we're not doing play-by-play.
Hey, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Hold on.
No problem. We got you. Oh, let's go. Yeah, Johnson. Oh, good shot. Oh, Jones. Gotta tie again, man. Alright, I'm just gonna go.
Oh, nice three. Tampa Bay.
Keep me in the room for a second. I gotta move.
The only thing we need from when we like they get like 5-10 minutes, they can send an email asking about our delivery. If you can give us 5 stars.
Definitely. I got you.
Oh.
You too.
Trying to get on real fast.
All right, I am back. I apologize. I had some furniture delivered.
No, you good. I had to move.
Ooh, Mario Dixon driving to the rack. All right, let me address some of these comments. Boom, boom, boom. That's a bucket while you pass. Mariana goes up for the layup, and that is no good. Low Will, what's going on, man? We got the Generals and the Hoopstars playing now, followed by, I think, the Dragons versus the Sharks play right after this game. Oh, and a tough three-point shot taken by Greg Powers.
Yeah, well, he showed he could make that shot at time.
Rainey got blocked by Terrence Wary. Mariana goes in, drives in on Keandre Bronson, and gets the layup. We're tied 12-12.
Yeah. Somebody got to, find a way to get an advantage in this game.
Dixon out there balling. Bronson for three, and that was no good.
Good way to send it back out. Okay.
Be sure that if you are tuning in with us that you like this video and please subscribe. Bronson goes up. That is off. Great defense by Damian. So this Generals team has been very effective on defense, and they kind of work together here on the defensive side of the ball. Do you think that that's going to really factor in them winning games?
Yeah, I mean that's a great quality to have. You can be a good defensive team. It creates easy offense and keeps the other team from putting points on the board. So. But right now they just got to find their shot on the other end. This is a very low scoring quarter right now for both teams.
I agree. Grant Powers gets it over to Mario Dixon. Dixon to Powers. Powers for three. That is off.
It really just looked like they just going through the motions. And
Jameer Johnson hoping to get something going for his team. From the looks of it, doesn't look like anyone's been subbed out on either team. Do you think that that might cause some fatigue in the later stages of the game?
yeah, that's definitely something for these teams to take into consideration. They don't want they top scorers, getting tired and down the game can't finish.
The Hoopstars leading 14-12 as the Generals came out firing, but couldn't contain the Hoopstars enough here in this one in the first quarter. Plenty of game to go.
Yeah, well, I mean, anything can happen in ESBL, as we've seen on multiple occasions. So, maybe both of these teams turn it up real quick.
Mario Dixon. He gets a screen by Greg Powers. Great pick and roll action by the Tampa Bay Generals. Johnson for three. That is off. Drop down in the chat. Who do y'all have winning? Mario Dixon balling out here in this first debut game of the regular season for the Tampa Bay Generals.
That's a good take.
Johnson drives in and he jumps on B. Matthews. Mama, there goes that man.
Yeah, don't give him those opportunities. Keep him shooting it from the perimeter. Right now he's not hitting, so that'll be the best bet.
Dixon goes up on JoJo. JoJo won't have in that. Torrance Turner over to his brother. Johnson with the little shimmy fade and shimmy no. Not good.
Too early to call. Yeah.
Okay, so watch this. So if you were a betting man, who would you have winning this game?
You asking me?
You and those that are watching right now.
Right now, coming into the game, I seen it as probably being a close game, but for my money, I had it on the Generals. I feel like they've already shown that they have a lot on the floor to offer, and they probably are the better team right now in my point of view.
Torrance Turner driving in. Great defense by Ty Bronson.
Yeah, my judgment probably wouldn't be accurate because I haven't seen an identity for these teams yet. I haven't seen them play enough. So it's just, seeing how they perform and seeing how they play before I can make an actual judgment.
Word, man. You got to do that commentating homework, man. Watch the bowl games.
Jameer Johnson for three. That is no good.
They shooting too much. Too much.
Mario Dixon goes in. Nice pass. As Bronson couldn't convert the and one. I don't know, man. Dixon is a very special talent for Tampa Bay.
He's aggressive. He's been aggressive. That's what's got them where they at right now. Without his aggressiveness, I don't know where they'd be right now. They might not even be in this game. on the other side, I think Jameer needs to stop settling for threes and look to get it in that lane. Because he could definitely create problems for the Generals.
I'm sorry, but that's just some great defense. The Generals haven't caused a foul that would put the Hoopstars to the free throw line yet. But the Hoopstars are able to still stick around here in this one.
Yeah.
That man Mario Dixon does it again.
He's definitely a great point guard. He's creating, putting it in the basket. That's what you want to see from your point guard.
Johnson started to turn it up himself.
That's what he needs to be doing.
Dixon couldn't get it to go. Kai Rainey with his rebound. Rainey over to JoJo. We haven't seen much from the Turner brothers. As Fred Turner drives in, goes up for a layup, and that is good.
Good to see some other players put the ball up.
Dixon goes in, goes up as he gets past JoJo Allen. 12 points from Mario Dixon in this one.
He's hooping. No way around it.
Rainey through the hoop to JoJo Allen. And man, that would have been something if it would have actually finished.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll put a defenders like that. Oh, man. That would have been a clip right there.
Rebounded by Bronson. Terrence Wary gets it over to Dixon. Dixon with the nice pass to Bronson. Yes, sir. That's how you get it done. JoJo Allen couldn't get it. Mario Dixon. Screen set by Powers. Powers. Back to Wary. Wary for three. And that is good.
Yeah, he needs to be a vocal point for that. Get him involved.
Mariana Self. A lot of passing and a lot of, the Hoopstars offense is very stagnant at times. It's Torrance Turner being guarded by Matthews, and that is blocked. They took way too long to get to make something happen.
Yeah, it seems like when Jameer is not in the game, they struggle on the offensive end. Like they don't know who wants to put the ball up. When he's in, it's obvious he's their main option.
B. Matthews. Driving in. Goes up. That is off. Matthews was a very focal part of their win against the Diamonds. Do you see him doing that again in this game against the Hoopstars?
As well as yet to be seen. To me, that might have been, a matchup issue with the other team. He had somebody on him in that game that just couldn't guard him. So we'll see, if they can find a way to keep him from getting hot in this game.
Damian Self hits Fred Turner. Turner goes up. That is off. Way too early prediction. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Mario Dixon is going to be the best point guard this season.
Yeah, that's definitely an early prediction, but you know he's showing he's going to be an elite point guard. You know, because you know for the most part, from what I've seen from guards, a lot of them just either are looking to put their own shots up and not get their teammates involved. And he's definitely capable of doing both. So that's a dangerous combination right there, which most teams should want from their point guard at this point.
It's a bare minimum game right now. It's pretty close.
So goes up and that is off.
Yeah, I'm seeing it right after you say it.
Dixon with a nice pass to Greg Powers. That man, his passing is just so fluid.
He could have touched the backboard on that one.
Yeah, he plays like he should, you know, like an elite point guard. So, you know, that's going to play a major factor for them this season.
As Jameer Johnson brings up a great point, they have not scored a single point since Johnson has been off the court.
Yeah, and you know that's what I was saying. You know, he's when he's in the game, it looks like you know he's their vocal. You know, the player that they look to get the ball in his hand, and when he's not in, it looks like everybody's looking for who's going to put the shot up, and they don't really know. You know, shots not falling. They need him in the game as much as possible at this point.
As we get to halftime, the Tampa Bay Generals are up 32-24. Wow. Generals are looking to go 2-0 as the Hoopstars are hoping to pull out their first win of the season. So there are rumors today that, you know, KZ Barbados could potentially, you know, by the end of the day, be released from the Baltimore Legends. Why do you think that the Legends are in such a hurry to release a player that was just traded to their team?
Uh, to me, that move is kind of questionable for me because you know, I could understand if it was a player on a big contract and they were gonna, you know, save some cap, but knowing that it's not really, you know, saving him any money or putting him in a better position, it's leaving him one player less. You know, I didn't really understand that move.
Mario Dixon with 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists here in this game. Looking to have a repeat performance, if not better, than his last outing against the Diamonds. As Jameer Johnson has voiced that Mariana Self needs to be traded or benched. How do you feel about those?
He probably should take that to his locker room and you know discuss that there. Maybe they could find a way to work that out. You know, but from what I see, they need somebody else to put the ball up other than Jameer. So you know, Mariana is just the one doing it. It hasn't been very efficient, but she's putting it up.
that Weary that hit that?
I don't feel like every situation calls for a player to be traded. But maybe bring her off the bench, Mariana off the bench. Here, let's see. Oh, it's can't wait.
Okay, I was just trying to see something real quick. 37-27. The Generals are up right now. Jameer Johnson gets it over to Rainey. Johnson driving in. Coach spins around on Bronson. That is no good. Bronson with the great defense.
He's frustrated, But the game's still early. Anything can happen,
Johnson goes up. That's no good. He gets his own rebound. Goes back up. That is no good. Great hustle by Jameer Johnson.
Yeah, he's going to do everything he can to help them try and get this win.
Kai Rainey coming up the court. Drives in. Red carpet layup. 41-31. Dixon. To Todd Bronson. Money! Banging buckets.
Way too far.
Mariana Self for three. That is no good. Mariana has been really shooting her team out of this one. I don't know. I mean, it's too early
I
to
think,
go ahead.
I think that she'd be better off coming off the bench for them right now. Maybe
So reports have it that the Hoopstars want a big man. So do you feel that maybe they either release her or they make a trade with her in it to in order to kind of fulfill that role? Because the Hoopstars team, inside they aren't the biggest team out there.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a good look for their team right now, but knowing that player is close to the owner of this team, that's something that the owner will have to the front office gonna have to make that decision. That comes into making tough decisions for your team. We've seen stuff like that throughout the beginning of this season. Let's see what they make happen.
So is it is it is it okay to admit that maybe if they don't get rid of if they don't get rid of Mariana Self, that some of their guys could potentially demand a trade?
It's definitely looking like it right now, because they made it clear that, they're not happy with her play, and maybe, it's a situation where you got to pick one or pick a couple of your key players, so what would you go with in that situation?
As the Generals are up by 12, Rainey cranking it up right now, being guarded by.
Oh no. There's different things that they could do, if they decided they wanted to go in a different direction than their star, their star has a high value right now, so they could get a nice scorer to put on that team if he didn't want to be there.
As Kai Rainey hits Jameer. Jameer driving in. Pump fakes. Gets it to JoJo Allen, and great defense by Ty Bronson.
Yeah, they're definitely locking them up on the defensive end. Oh, man.
Mario Dixon hits Chink Adams. This is the first time that we've seen Chink Adams. Chink Adams, that's interesting. He was starting in their last game, and now we see him coming off the bench. Do you think that there's a reason as to why they made that switch?
Mario Dixon. That's the reason. I'd say, I wouldn't say you take Mario Dixon out the starting lineup. I wouldn't say take Terrence Weary out. They have some good guards, and then B. Matthews over there too. So they have a lot to offer at that position. So maybe he wasn't cutting it for them. And, they felt like he would be better as a role as a bench player.
As the Generals are up 12, Mariana is 3 for 12. So she's not even really scoring the ball. Oh my gosh! Mario Dixon is a bad man. 22 points in this game. Showing up Kai Rainey and the Atlanta Hoopstars. Jameer Johnson goes in. Where he picks up the foul.
Yeah, that's what they need Jameer to do right now. Cause some fouls, get these players in some foul trouble, and make the Generals have to go deeper into their rotation.
So the Generals do play again tonight. Do you think that they make a switch up, or is it possible that we see a trade happen between now and then?
The Hoopstars, I mean,
the Hoopstars. Apologies.
Say it's not a chance that it happens, but that depends on how much they value their stars' opinion. They could feel like you just worry about what you're doing on the court, or they could be like we want to go in whatever direction you want us to go. So it'll be interesting to see how much they value Jameer Johnson over there. And the others.
Matthews made both of his free throws. Generals up 14. Kai Rainey over to Jameer Johnson. Johnson driving in. Goes up. That is off.
And I want to see more from Kai Rainey, Vontae Rainey, because they do a lot of talking about what they're capable of doing.
So Vontae Rainey is the highest overall player in the league, yet he's not being utilized as if he's that much of importance on this team.
And that comes into, the game plan. Basically, like I said, their game plan is to run through Jameer Johnson and let him get out there and shoot threes and, get to the rim when possible. But, it's showing right now, one player can't do it all for a team.
So is it safe to say that if the Generals pull this off, that they're contenders to make the playoffs?
It's kind of early to say. Anything can happen. I play. Anything can happen. So they could go on a losing streak. You never know. So anything can happen. I wouldn't call it safe to say, but it's definitely a possibility. That's one thing I look to see from teams that could play both on the offense and defensive end at a high level. And, the Generals have shown that they're that kind of team. And that to me, that's championship basketball. So hopefully they can keep it up.
Rainey gets it to Fred Turner. Turner shoots the three. That is no good.
Yeah, they don't need that. It's harder when a player is 3-15. Yeah, I agree, but it's on y'all as a team to
Oh my gosh! Mario Dixon with the oop to Todd Bronson. The Generals are up 20 points. I don't know. I don't know if the Hoopstars have enough firepower to come back in this one.
I'm not seeing it right now, especially with Mayor Johnson not on the floor.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like that he's being subbed in anytime soon.
No, he's only one player. He got to get a rush. Maybe that's their way of showing that they don't think they got this though.
I mean, but you don't give up this early in the fourth quarter. With 6 minutes to go.
If you sit in your star down 20, that's giving up. Right?
He said GG's. He's saying GG's at that point.
Yeah.
Dixon for three. Banging buckets. Mario Dixon. Absolutely. Has no fear in his eyes today. Oh, snap. Exclusive report from Jameer Johnson that he is not happy and not liking the direction that his team is going. He feels like his input to the team is not being heard.
And that's crazy to hear because I've heard a lot that he's a very loyal player. So he must feel like a lot's not going right there. I know this is just. Yeah, I mean, what does that say? I mean, a team could come out, lose their first game, and still go 12-1 with 13 games in the season. So it's too early to be saying. Well, my suggestion would be to get with your front office after this game and to figure out what direction they want to go in. Because right now they need to bring in some help for Jameer because from what I'm seeing, everybody's playing to get Jameer the ball. Nobody's really putting the ball in the basket other than him.
Jameer Johnson asking for a trade.
Yeah. He sold himself as a loyal player, so that's surprising.
It is very interesting, as a charge was picked up.
I mean, it's interesting, but it's not because when you think about all this stuff that's going on, yeah, he sold himself as a loyal player, but how much loyalty do you have for one? Organization to keep losing. Think about people who did that, like Allen Iverson, great player.
But they're not keep losing. This is their first game, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It's the first game of the season.
It's the first game.
If you're a star player and your team lose one game, you just say you want to trade. So you're not really a star player then, because the star player gonna carry you to the victory. AI, he may not have the scores around. My fault. Go ahead.
It's different in this league though because if we were more fighting for getting into the playoffs, I understand losing a game or something like that, but the fact that every single game you play could determine whether or not what you're going to be in the playoffs. That's what makes.
But like I said, a team could lose their first game of the year and then go 12-1. So I mean, it's too early to say. I don't know their roster, how many players they have, but they could bring in another player because there's players out there that need a home.
So the Hoopstars are actually full. Like their entire roster is full right now, so they can't really make any moves unless they release or trade someone.
Well then that's something that front office needs to take.
Okay, hold on. What's the Hoopstars next game? Let's look at that.
Tonight against the Snipers.
Okay.
So you probably should not comment on that.
You said what?
I said that. So that's probably not a topic for you to comment on as far as their next game.
And
I'm not going. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I see somebody saying for them to trade for a big man. They got like 80 overall big.
Oh my God! Todd Bronson with the block. Bronson is absolutely almost, surreal on defense.
I won't comment. I won't comment too much on the next game. All I'm gonna say is I'm gonna make it a very open-ended question. Atlanta just lost to the Generals. They're playing the Snipers next. If Jameer loses that game, can we then say maybe he is
air ball by Jameer Johnson? All right. Apologies. What was the last part you said? Can we then say what?
If he loses that game to the Snipers, can we then say that him winning a change is warranted? Like, is it justified at that point?
I think if they lose this next game tonight, it puts them in a tough spot because the Hoopstars have 4 games in just this week alone because they also have 2 games on Sunday. So if they go, on a losing streak this early in the season, I don't know. You put your team at risk of really falling out of playoff contention. Like I said from the very beginning, the top 8 teams make the playoffs. So if you're not within those top 8, then you're not getting in the playoffs. Only teams 9 through 14. You're going home. And it's only 13 games in the actual season. So You take 4 games out of 13 and say they go on 4 tonight, or on 4 this week rather. I don't know. Johnson for 3. That is good.
Powerful, powerful center.
Chink Adams getting some garbage minutes right now. A great role player for his team. Great layup. If you were in here with us, drop flames before the next game. Also, please like this video and subscribe to ESBL 24/7.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, this game is.
This was.
Jameer Johnson with the layup.
Atlanta has to figure out something quick. They cannot do this against teams like the Legends and well, any team really. This has to be fixed.
The Generals are down 22.
Any game that they might play somebody that may be able to defend Jameer Johnson, it looks like right now they're not going to be able to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
End of the game, 76-54. The Generals 2-0 to start off their season. And the Hoopstars go 0-1, just ahead of their second game tonight. Hopefully, the Hoopstars can figure something out because the Hoopstars only have 5 hours to get it together. Next game is going to be the Dragons versus the Sharks. Don't go nowhere. Wow, Mario Dixon with a double-double, 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 11 assists. He was 13 for 19. Todd Bronson, 15 points, 8 rebounds. Wary with 12 points. He was 50%. Keandre with 7 points and 10 rebounds. Greg Powers, 6 points, 11 rebounds. I don't know. I honestly feel that the Generals can get production out of any one of these guys on any given night. I personally think that right now that the Generals are a contender to make the playoffs. Without a doubt.
Yeah, I very much agree. I think the Generals make a good case. The Vipers make a good case. The Legends make a good case. The Tigers. I mean, there's so many teams that can make a good case right now for being in the playoffs. But then again, look at it like this. This was they didn't go against a team that really doesn't have anyone. I wouldn't say anyone but Jameer, but they went against someone they went against a team that didn't have another star player.
I don't know. Vontae Rainey is the highest rated player in the entire league. So when you say something like that, kind of makes me look at it. Jameer Johnson was
a game plan thing.
Jameer Johnson
they need to get him the ball. Rainey, so he can shoot 6 and 4. That's not cool for the highest rated player in the league. He got to show he could do something. Rebound, he's big. No block. That's an issue. It's not even just the scoring. I mean, he should be able to get more boards than 4. He started at center, and he didn't even have a block. I mean,
Jameer Johnson has 26 points, but he went 10 for 14. Oh no, I'm sorry, 10 for 24.
He had to though. Who else was gonna put the? They had two people put up shots really. That's it. That's all I see. I mean,
I don't know,
7 shots.
but that right there is a problem. I mean, either you say, hey, Mariana, you have to come off the bench, or you're out of here, or if I can't, meet the needs because of, close ties to players. I mean, then maybe I should probably think about, sending Jameer Johnson elsewhere because he's currently disgruntled, and that right there could cause tension in anyone's locker room.
Yeah, and they don't need chemistry issues this early in the season. That's for sure.
All right, give us 2 minutes. We'll be right back at the Dragons take on the San Diego Sharks.
Sure. Get it.
Yes, sir, indeed. Yes, sir, indeed. Right back with it. San Diego Sharks taking on the Las Vegas Dragons.
Oh, this gonna be a good one.
This may be a little presumptuous of me, but I will say this is the Sharks game to lose. I'm sorry to say that, but
I mean, I feel like if the Dragons got their, a good game plan in for this game, they could give that Sharks team some issues. If Michael Ali come out just pulling from everywhere, it might create an issue. Ooh, good shot.
Gilbert is out there. Pulls the three. Ooh! Banging buckets. Gilbert right back at Ali. Ali driving in. Hits Rodman. Rodman with the nice little layup.
Yeah, that's good basketball.
Levi Nash. Gilbert driving in on Alexis. Back out to Teo. No good. Matt Collins over to Nyla Ivory. Alexis pulls the three. Woo! Banging buckets. Dragons coming out hot out of the gate.
Yeah, they definitely out of town.
Levi Nash pulls a three. That is no good. Both of these teams are not afraid to shoot the ball.
Yeah, they're showing right now that that 3-point line, they're trying to make it home.
They both play, very similar games, kind of spacing out everywhere along that 3-point line. As Collins tried to go in for a jump shot, and that was no good. Gilbert pulls the fadeaway three. That is off. Hazard with the rebound. Goes back up. Gets it to go. San Diego Sharks are down two.
Did the coaches just tell them to come out there and just anytime you behind that 3-point line, what it's looking like?
I don't know. I think this game might be a little bit higher scoring than the last one for both teams, as Levi Nash got the steal on Michael Ali. Gilbert kicks it back to Hazard. Hazard driving in on Collins. Passes it to Levi Nash. Nash for three. Banging buckets. Levi Nash. These teams do not hesitate to pull that trigger.
Yeah. This is about to be a great game.
Ali for three. That is no good.
I'm starting the hashtag right now. Hashtag Levi 3-point contest. If not, we boycott.
That's an extra long hashtag, sir.
Well, that's what the hashtag's going to be.
Timeout called by the Dragons. They are now down 3. So the Dragons just recently signed Ralph Harrison, as well as they picked up Thiago Santos, who was released by the Los Angeles Diamonds. How do you think that they factor in for the Dragons here?
They possibly could be great additions. I mean, we haven't seen Ralph Harrison, so we got to see what he's capable of. But as far as Thiago Santos, he's shown he can hoop. So, if they bring him off the bench, that gives them another score and, somebody that's going to contribute. And that's important.
And a personal foul picked up by DJ Gilbert. Looked like that he tried to run through Michael Ali.
Oh, can't do that.
Alexis has it.
I mean, you can. You just got to make sure you do it the right way.
Ali banging buckets right now.
So, it's good to see his shots falling.
It is really good to see his shots start falling.
Teo That is no good. So Michael Ali was originally on the Baltimore's Legends roster, and they traded him. How do you think that Ali would have done, paired up with Elijah Hawkins?
Well, that would have been a dangerous duo to see, They're both elite scorers and could put the ball in the basket in a hurry. So, it would have gave, Hawkins that other player on the perimeter to get the ball to and put in the basket in a hurry. But I mean, given they do have a player that's shown he could put up buckets too, and Kane over there.
Shoot two.
He said, "Not my doing." Yeah, we know.
Is it possible that the Baltimore Legends try to trade back for Michael Ali?
Maybe next season. I don't see that. As the player they should be looking for. I mean, they can get a scorer that can play that role.
Kane with the great pass over to Josh Robinson.
And on top of that, between Ali and Hawkins, they both need the ball, so it'll be hard for both of them to get their touches in the way that they want to.
I mean, I can kind of agree with that. The thing about it is, I don't feel like Ali needs the ball. I feel like Ali would be a great off the ball player. Like you could put him at the shooting guard and have Hawkins just feed him, and they would do perfectly fine together.
But is Hawkins gonna feed him?
That's the question. That's the real question. Is Hawkins gonna feed Ali enough?
I mean, Hawkins has some elite talent over there to work with. Like,
Elite?
It's got to be his thing to get those players involved.
Wait, did you just say elite?
Who?
You.
Yeah, he does. I mean, as far as where they are rated right now, Mac is a top pick in this the draft that we just had. So he's
Come on now. Anybody can be picked in the first round and turn out to be a bust.
But you don't feel like if Mac was used in the right way, he would be a major factor for a team?
The last time I seen Mac used in the right way was when they won the Orcas won the championship in the Elite Classic.
So yeah, somebody got to get back to that if they want to bring him in and make him a key piece to their team. If not, he's not going to be happy, because he's not able to show his talent. At this point, we talking bad about it. He not what he was brought up to be. So
I mean, yeah, but also to that downside though. Mac in the game against the Sniper shows that his defense can be spotty at times.
Yeah, spot. Not even just both games he put. Well, then because he was on the Orcas, and I think spotty loss is because they would screen, and he just looked lost, and they couldn't. He couldn't really do anything on the defensive end, and that cost them the game.
As the Dragons are up 25-14.
I didn't want to say that because I was shocked. I just didn't want nobody to come back and be like, "Didn't you say this was the Sharks game?" No.
Well,
right off the record.
I personally think that you're hating on the Sharks just because the Sharks beat your team so badly that your team had to go pick up Andre Beard. But that's just my personal opinion.
If that's what you think, then you haven't heard the word. You haven't really heard what I said. You have to listen to what I said if that's what you think I'm talking about.
I think this Dragons team definitely improved. You know, they showing it right now. I mean, obviously the game's not over. Anything can happen, but you know, right now they're showing that they're a good team. And for the Sharks, you know, what we've seen from them, you know, a lot of their points come from the perimeter. So if they're not hitting those shots, what happens then? You know, and we're seeing they had a cold quarter, 14 points.
They've only made three shots from behind the arc. So very interesting.
I want to reiterate on what I said, by the way. I'm not hating on the Sharks. What I said was, this is the Sharks' game to lose, meaning that the Sharks are the better team than the Dragons. So if the Sharks lose this, I'd be very surprised. To your comment, Mitch.
I don't agree that the Sharks are the better team. I think both of these teams have great talent.
Nani? You don't believe that the Sharks are not better than the Dragons?
I don't believe that. What are you going off for the preseason? I'm asking because we're in the season now, and they're not showing that they're the better team right now. So what you have to be speaking on the preseason.
Alexis blocked by Hector. I think the only reason why EJ is quiet right now.
That's one thing
is because you know he's been having flashbacks of the San Diego Sharks beating up on his team, and you know they didn't really like that very much.
You know, I said that
you talk about bias, my dude. Did you talk about the Sharks a lot? Is it because DJ Gilbert's on that team?
That has nothing to do with me. At the end of the day, you know, like the Dragons are a fantastic team. I personally don't. I don't know. Maybe it's a coaching thing that their coach needs to kind of readjust, because they're allowing the Sharks to come back into this one after having them down by so much. As Alexis drives in, and that is no good. You know, and still, we have yet to see the Dragons utilize Nyla Ivory to her full potential.
Yeah, they don't want to let somebody else mind.
So it's almost as if, and that's the part that I have a problem with, is that, a lot of these teams are paying these guys or ladies all this money, yet you don't play them the way that they're supposed to be played. Or the system that you have set up is not in favor to them. So why am I paying you millions and millions of dollars if when you go on the court, you're just a track star? Because right now, Nyla Ivory, she's a runner, she's a track star.
Yeah. Yeah, she's capable of more, And to speak on that, and during a preseason, she brought that up, that she felt like she was, she needed to be utilized a little bit more, and that the fact that it's still not happening, that could become an issue today.
Because Alexis is blocked by Hector Cologne. Gilbert bringing it up for the Sharks. Pulls the three. That is no good. A very questionable shot by him.
Oh, what he doing out there?
It's almost as if when Michael Ali's not on the court, this team doesn't score at all. David Chapman with the steal. Gets to the tail. Ingram pulls the mid-range shot. That is no good. Alexis gets the rebound.
It's almost as if I leave it on the court for the Dragons, they won't score at all.
Yeah.
So am I still crazy for saying the Sharks are the better team, considering that the Dragons haven't had that one player out there who didn't score?
Right now, the Dragons don't look like the better team.
I know.
I mean the Sharks. I mean the Dragons. The Sharks. They down right now.
Yes, but the Dragons, Ali just came out for the Dragons, and they haven't scored since. So could this be
Yeah,
another Hoopstars thing?
that don't speak to them as a team. That speaks to the point guard play. Because Ali, created a lot for them at that point guard position. And who they have as a point guard right now, I don't even know. But they're not, producing at the same level as Michael Ali.
I mean, but I feel like it's just another Hoopstar situation where Jameer Johnson is a star player, and everybody else just kind of has to follow LeBron.
Isn't Rodman a top big?
He is.
Not because I've heard that on different occasions. So
Well, you said
is that not Rod no more? Yeah.
Yeah, Rod. Okay, Rod. Rodman is going to be a.
And not Nyla Ivory. She's a hoop. They just not putting her in position to score. And Alexis, they got showed that she could put up points. Too. She's a scorer too. So they have the talent. That's what I'm saying. Don't sleep on them.
Quite honestly, this was my whole thing with the draft with the Dragons draft selections is you don't take two premier scorers in the first round and in the second round and not use neither one of them. You went out, traded for a guy in Michael Ali, who now he takes all the shots. And then you got Thiago Santos, who's taking away minutes from Nyla Ivory.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, to what extent are you using your top two picks? And do they request a trade? Do they stay where they're at?
That's a good question. Do they? Because it's situations like this that I always say. Do the players that want trades, are they warranted? Because of stuff like this, you get drafted to a team, you're a high performing scorer, and you're not being used.
All right, so watch this. Because you made that statement in a particular, then I can argue with you. Why? Because you went and signed a player who demanded a release and demanded to be traded because he was not being utilized properly as well. So is it safe to say that Nyla Ivory right now is highly disappointed in how she's being utilized on the court, and the Chicago's finest, the Chicago's finest agency is right now the only agency standing in ESBL, as we've seen the decimation of the empire and all activity with MB Sports is currently on hold. So is it safe to say that, hey, probably here tonight, that Chicago's finest would be making a move to get their player from out of there?
Yeah,
It's an option.
I think so. They need to jump on that, because they're taking everything away from her. She's not able to show what she can do on the floor, and to me, she's better than majority of the people they have on the floor. Not saying Ali's not a talent, but she could put the ball in the basket just as much as he can.
She's the highest overall player on this team.
And
to argue with your point there, Dame. Yes, I did sign a player who was not happy where he was in Boston, and I feel like unlike that Boston team, I talked to that player and said, "Hey, how do you feel? What do you think your role is?" And after talking to him and understanding what he feels his role is, I now understand why he was so angry with the team that drafted him. Because this is the thing, and this is not taking shots at anybody. This is not calling anybody out. You don't draft someone with the promise of what they're gonna be, and then not use them in that way. Like the Sharks, you don't draft a Nyla Ivory, and she's coming in thinking she's about to be a star, and you go trade for someone who's a lower overall, and not use. No, you don't do that. You don't do that.
But if they fit better, I mean, maybe.
But I actually have to go real quick. I'll be back in like a minute or two, or a few minutes. But
Gotcha. So Michael Ali came out with a statement that said that we put too much emphasis on overall. So let's not speak on overall. How about this? Both Nyla Ivory and Michael Ali were taken in the second round, right? Alexis was taken in the first round, right? They're now all on the same team. You either, in my opinion, because at this point you can't trade Michael Ali, so I think that you trade Nyla Ivory, get some value for her, or you do something here to, because you have to fix the issue. And I'm not saying that the Sharks are a bad team, but if this Dragons team goes up against, I don't know, the Tampa Bay Generals, for instance, right? They're gonna have a hard time. If they go up against the Motor City Vipers, they're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
Michael Ali, to me, in my opinion, isn't the best point guard in the league right now. So, until you can really solidify him in his role, and unless the Dragons organization is telling us that, hey, Michael Ali is pretty much our identity, a guy that we traded Casey Barbados for. Come on, man.
But saying that right there, that to me that don't even make sense, because how do you like you said, have these talented players on your team and make them take a backseat just because you brought in another player? I mean, the thing to do would be make them all fit together. If you can't make them fit together, then you got to make a move for somebody that's going to fit next to Ali. Whether that be a defender or whatever, because he's not going to get them the ball if they shoot it, obviously.
And then here's the craziest part about the situation. Nyla's own teammate, Ralph Harrison, who just got signed to the Dragons this week, just told us or told Nyla here in the chat that, hey, Nyla, that they're kind of taking a piss with all your minutes, and that she deserves to prove herself on the court, and she deserves more playing time. When you go sign a guy for 1 year for $25 million without seeing him play a single minute in the regular season, that's scary. Because then it's like that you're just making any decision just to fill, just to fill a roster spot.
Oh, wow. That Colin, he's a beast. I completely agree with you, though, Larry. They got to find a way to get all these people involved. Josh Robinson not going to be the answer this game, because that Collins is on him, and he's a problem. Need to get it.
Hector Cologne has been amazing at containing Josh Robinson here in this game.
I'm 7'5".
Josh Robinson is 7'1". I think Cologne is 6'11", I believe.
Oh, wow. He looks taller than Robinson.
This is crazy. Ralph Harrison has just stated that she's literally had no playing time in this game, and that she gets that the Dragons want to win, but they got to utilize their players.
Yeah.
Their players are clearly frustrated with how they're playing things. And the crazy part is, the Dragons are home to 3 of the women of ESBL. So if you're not playing the women of ESBL, you got a bigger problem in your locker room, sir.
Yeah, why draft them if you're not going to use them?
Why draft or sign them?
Yeah, especially to those big contracts. I mean, unless you feel like you're going to trade him for a different big contract, which you should have been trying to do before the season started and not wait until after you play a few games, you know, I don't know, because it don't look like the game plan was based for them to get the ball too much, you know, and I mean, right now, they're still up by 10. Let's speak to that for a second. Let's speak to that, because as much as, you know, we feel like they're not playing the right way, they're winning against a team that was, you know, arguably said that they were going to be, like, one of the better teams in the league right now. And, you know, and I said that over and over again about every team, that, you know, we judging them off of preseason and not a regular season game. So now is the time to start judging these teams and, you know, seeing what they really are capable of.
As David Chapman's bringing it up for the San Diego Sharks.
Because with both of these, with the Dragons, you know, struggling with when Ali's not on the court, but still to maintain a 10-point advantage, a double-digit advantage, you know, that looks really bad for the Sharks.
Alexis Baycoat. Screen set by Josh Robinson. She goes up. Cologne couldn't get it, couldn't stop Robinson on that one. All right, Dame put me in for a trade. I can't get you a trade. You are signed to an agency, and you do have an agency that is free to talk to teams for you. I personally can't do that myself. Not gonna lie, I don't think it's owner's fault. Coaching is kind of messed up. Could we see the Las Vegas Dragons coach be fired?
Who is their current coach right now?
I believe it is Matt Collins.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it looks like he's not doing a good. I mean, I don't know. Can you really fire somebody after if they win this game? I'm not saying that they are going to win it, because it's always the chance that the Sharks get hot and, you know, take over this game. But if they win this game, can you say that, you know, the coaching was bad because, you know, it turned into a win? Or, you know, this kind of, I mean, I'd also agree that this kind of play is not going to be successful against every team in the league.
We've seen firsthand a player like Elijah Hawkins take the court and try to shoot his team to a victory, right? Mike Wiley is doing it right now. Granted, they're winning. However, they're not playing, you know, a team that maybe, you know, is adjusted to them, or whatever the case may be. And honestly, quite frankly, the Sharks only have 6 players on their roster. And from the looks of it, it looks like that they're running the same starting 5, and then David Chapman comes in, you know, every once so often to give someone a breather. So their big man and the power forward and Taylor Ingram, they've been in the game, I believe, the entire game now.
I seen that Sharks owner come on in the lounge and say that he was the best owner in the league. So, you know, I can't excuse it, because, you know, he made that statement, say, you know, he as the owner of this team and in the front office of this roster, you know, he's supposed to put them in the best position to win. And not having depth on your team hurts your team.
So also keep in mind that Mike Riley not only got traded over to the Las Vegas Dragons, but he also ended up becoming their general manager.
Yeah.
So could that be the reason why that there's some frustration there with their players?
Yeah, I mean, if your player is, you know, the GM or anything like that, if they feel like their player is the best advantage, the best option for the team, then that's what they're gonna do, and then that's how they're gonna play. And kind of that's what we're seeing here. I don't feel like he's the best option on this team right now. He's definitely a option for the team, maybe 2 or 3, but not number 1 right now. They have too many other scorers to just be playing through one. They're limiting their team when they could probably be up by 20 right now if they played the right way and got all these players touching.
Is it possible that Ralph Harrison could demand a trade as well?
I like to see it. I mean, it's possible for all these players to want to trade that don't feel like that they're being utilized the right way. Everybody wants to feel valued and want it. If you don't feel that way, you're not going to want to play there, and it's going to create a chemistry issue in your locker. And this season is too short to have those kind of issues.
I agree. Thiago Santos bringing it up for the Sharks. Santos goes up. That is off.
Yeah, especially when you're like Dame said, when you're picked at such a high position, first round, second round, and you're not being utilized. That's as a 1, 2, 3 option. That's an issue. What were they picked for? Not their shooting, I'm guessing. What, their defense or playmaking? I'm not sure. I'm not seeing it.
As the Sharks are looking to come back in this one, gets it over to David Chapman. Gilbert goes up for the layup. That is good. 44-52. Santos with the fadeaway on Levi Nash, and that is short. You think that Santos has shown that he's worth $25 million for a 1-year rental?
Nah, not in my opinion. But at the same time, he's one of many players on this team that's not performing to their contract, whether that be because of the game plan or their ability. But there's a lot of players on this team that's not showing what they're capable of doing, or what they thought to be capable of doing. Have you seen a lot of CPU in the game for the Dragons?
I just got a message about that. I mean, I've seen them once in the game. I haven't seen much of them since.
No, I'd agree. It's what we speaking to. They have a game plan, but it's not set for those players. That's what we're talking about. If it was, they would get the touches, and if they're not getting the touches, then they can't be a contributor to your team.
And it's not like that the Dragons are losing, and they're in and then they are winning the game. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if they trade Nyla, that it isn't a bad thing for both sides. As Gilbert gets the steal, Cologne goes up, and that is no good. Foul picked up by Josh Robinson.
I said that before. They're winning the game, but to me, that just speaks to the lack of from the other side because they were. I feel like most people had them as a big favorite in this game, and they've had opportunities when Ali's not on the floor. We've seen the Dragons have a hard time scoring. You would think at that point the Sharks would take over and get back in the game. But it's a 7-point lead right now in the fourth. Let's see what happens.
Gilbert bringing it up. Hits Cologne. I like that. The Sharks have shown a very nice mixture to their game. They started off firing guns blazing from three, and then they kind of took a step back, and now they're kind of feeding their big men down low.
Yeah, but that's not really working right now. I think they need to get back to the style where they showed their best basketball when they were scoring folks.
Levi Nash for three. That is no good. They're down 9. Nyla Ivory bringing it up. She hits Alexis. Also, Alexis has not been playing. Oh, she made that. Okay.
Yeah, I think when she's gotten the opportunity, she showed it, But I think we already know that, and that's why these players were taken so high. So, it just don't make sense to me that they aren't getting the opportunities out there.
I agree. He said, "This is from Josh Robinson, Dragons owner. Why are we being criticized so hard while winning? Yet the Sharks are avoiding everything."
Oh no, I didn't let the Sharks off the hook. I spoke on both sides. I'm not a one-sided. I'm not just judging y'all. I'm just speaking on the facts. Y'all are winning, but y'all, to me, like I said before, y'all could be winning by more if y'all utilize all your scoring ability. Y'all have a lot more shooters than just Michael Ali. And if they got the touches and the opportunities to put the ball in the basket, y'all could be up by more right now. Obviously, the Sharks team is struggling in this game.
Collins drives in, goes up, and that is no good. Blocked by Admiral Hazard. I honestly think that the Shark players, if they had a little bit more depth to their lineup, that they would probably be winning this one just because of how well that they shoot the ball. The only thing is they're tired, and being tired like this causes injuries. So it'll be very interesting to see how teams start utilizing their rotations.
They're gonna have to because you don't want to lose a star player early in the season. Now that injuries is a factor, I don't know if everybody thought about that. They voted on that, but you lose your star player in a 13-game season, for 20 games. That's a wrap.
That is all it. That's all she wrote. It's Alexis Baycoat. Here's Matt Collins. Collins for 3. That is off. 3 minutes to go. The Las Vegas Dragons are up 58-50. Levi Nash for 3. Banging buckets. They're down 5. Is it possible that we see the Sharks come back to win this one?
I said it's a possibility because both teams are not playing at a high level. While they keep saying they're winning, that just shows that they're comfortable with this play. Me as an owner, if my team is performing like this, I would not be comfortable with this. They're playing a team that's struggling, and they still giving them opportunities to get back in the game.
Levi Nash banging buckets. They're down just 2 points. Wow.
Now what they say.
Wow. I don't know, Dragons owner. You might be being criticized so hard because the coaching just isn't working. Might need to reevaluate your coach. 2K announced Michael Ali as the player of the game. However, that could change if they don't win this one and
Yeah.
allow the Sharks to come back.
Yeah, especially given Levi Nash has found his shot. You know, he can definitely put them in position to win this game if he keep hitting.
Alexis, a screen set by Collins. She drives in, passes out to Ali. Ali fumbles the ball and still hits the three.
Good shot.
Gilbert bringing it up.
Good shot.
Gets the pass over to Hector. That is no good as Josh Robinson blocked it. Just under
Good
2
block.
minutes to go. Dragons looking to lower the shot, some of the time on the clock. An unnecessary foul.
Frustration, trying to make something happen.
Ali passes to Josh Robinson. Robinson goes up. That is no good. Gilbert hits Hector. Hector post up. Gets the hook. And that is good. They're within 3. They both are shooting very similar. Except the Dragons have taken 2 more shots than they have. Or made 2 more shots than they have. Ali hits the mid-range. Gilbert spins around, goes up. That is off. 50 seconds to go. Collins jacks up a 3. Whoa. Okay. Gilbert for 3. That is no good. This is weird. Both teams are just chucking at this point.
It looks like they're tired and just, you know.
Yeah, in San Diego's case, you know, they don't have as much depth as the Dragons here in this one. Not taking anything away from the Dragons, but if you played 40 minutes in a game and, you know, went out there and tried and gave it your all and pretty much almost came back, got to give credit where credit is due. However, the Dragons just seem to be the better team in this one.
Yeah. I'm not giving no credit to the Shark side because they were a definite favorite in most people's opinion for this game, and you know they've struggled a lot through this game and should have done. In my opinion, should have done a lot more offensive end. You know, they've been very vocal that they felt like they were a top team in here, and you know I'm not seeing it this game.
He misses his first.
You know, I gotta have a different opinion.
And makes his second. Tonight, we will be streaming on YouTube again. The game will be the Hoopstars versus the Snipers. Please be in attendance. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
Snipers 1-0. Hoopstars 0-1.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to win, and somebody's got to lose. Yeah, definitely. You all can see it in their shots late late in the fourth that the Sharks were just tired through and through, but they couldn't get the job done. Congratulations to the Las Vegas Dragons.
Well, the Sharks front office need to go back and look at free agency and try and bring in some players to give they started some breather time. So they can perform down the stretch of the game. I mean, that's the thing. I think most teams, you should have seen that in the through the preseason. That was the whole reason for it. You see how your team played, and a lot of the teams you've seen down the stretch, they struggled because they didn't have the depth on the floor, and they players get tired. So that should have been a major factor for every team coming into this season to make sure that they have depth on their rosters so they starters can perform.
Yeah. The Sharks team or starters had 28, 25, 32, 31, and 30 minutes played in that game, with the most minutes coming from their center spot. 50%.
Hopkins is a monster.
50% shooting from Levi Nash. He was 6 for 12. 40% from the 3-point line. DJ Gilbert, he had 16 points, 2 assists. He was 6 for 17. Hector Cologne was 16 for 15 with 3 assists and 3 blocks. Hazard with only 6 points and 6 rebounds. He had 2 blocks in that one. Teo Ingram with a grand total of 3 points. He was 1 for 6. And then David Chapman with 0 points, 4 assists. He was 0 for 5 behind. I'm sorry, 0 for 5 from the field goal. Michael Ali, 10 for 22 with 26 points. Not a very good outlook on the field goal percentage, but just under 50%. Alexis Cato, she had 40% shooting, and she took 10 shots in this game. She had 4 assists. Josh Robinson with 10 points and 12 rebounds. Matt Collins with 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Thiago Santos, the $25 million man, with only 3 points and 2 rebounds. Nyla Ivory with only 2 points in this game. She didn't shoot not one 3-pointer at all.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at her for, asking for a trade at that point.
Ralph Harrison, only 2 points in this game. She didn't shoot a single 3 at all. Something that definitely has to happen. Your point guard taking 22 shots in a game, and I mean, he had a couple of assists, but it's just, all in all, it's just not fair to the rest of the team, especially if, your draft. Here's the thing: when you draft players, those players are your foundation and your building blocks. When you go trade for a player, you're saying, hey, that the guy that we just sent elsewhere isn't what we needed over here. So we're gonna go get this guy and bring him over. Because pretty much what you're telling the people that you drafted and signed to these massive contracts is that, hey, he means more to us. He means more to us than the rest of you.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, he's their team, not to take nothing away from him because, down the stretch, he closed this game out for them. But I like, to see a more balanced spreadsheet, in the box score with him maybe having 15 shots and, a couple of other people having close to 15 shots. It would, benefit them as a team, I believe.
Somebody's asking, how many minutes did Ralph play?
I will drop the box scores. It'll have the minutes and everything on it. But we are signing off here on ESBL. We will see you all tonight. We are out.